Okay, everybody, so today we're going to talk about all the various side effects that can happen when you've gone through treatment for cancer. So, my interviewee today has, over the past year and a half, had varied interventions with chemotherapy and surgeries. And so, we're going to talk today about what that produced from a side effect standpoint and what acupuncture and herbs has done for her thus far. So why don't you go ahead and tell us what brought you in, what symptoms you were having, things that you wanted me to help with.
So my primary problem was stiffness and joint pain. My left big toe was extremely painful, which started with when I would get infusions every 3 weeks. When I would get the infusion, that was when it was the most painful, but as the year went on, it began to be painful all the time. And I started having more and more pain on that left side, going up from my toe, up through my leg, up through my hip, up through my entire shoulder. And I was actively running. Even when I went through the first part of chemotherapy, I was able to run a little bit, but as time progressed, I just got stiffer and stiffer. I couldn't exercise, I couldn't run, because I thought, if I'm this stiff, I'm going to injure myself. So my quality of life started to diminish because I couldn't exercise like I wanted to and needed to for my mental health. And then I also had developed a patch on my tongue, which was very painful, again on the left side, which would flare up. I think that's it.
Yeah. So, for many of you, you may not know, as part of our diagnostic techniques that we use, doing a tongue analysis is big for us because it tells us what's going on inside the body. And so when you first stuck your tongue out at me, the first thing I thought was, wow, and ouch, because you had a lot of ulcerations going on. And you told me that all of the other doctors that you talked to them about it, and they were like, oh, it's no big deal, no big deal.
Right, and with COVID, because I wasn't in the room most of the time, I would mention, and I thought it was like a canker sore, especially at first, but I had been to the dentist multiple times. I'd had my teeth cleaned. I'd been to an endodontist. So those people all didn't really seem concerned at all. And yeah, you're the first person that had the reaction that I had when I would look at it.
Yeah, and it was to the point where it was painful to eat. Right?
It was painful even when I wasn't eating. I was aware of it a lot of the time.
Yeah. So I've been seeing you now for, I think, 4 to 5 weeks.
Probably closer to 6
weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and tell everyone what you've experienced thus far with the acupuncture, and we did give her herbs for her tongue to try and get that cleared up.
So there's really 3 things. So my tongue is healing nicely, and my leg feels much better. Today is the first day in a long time I don't have any pain in that toe, and I haven't all day long. We've talked about stiffness and how I'm so stiff in my calves, just not stiff, tight naturally, that I think the medication exacerbated it. And so I've been doing more and more stretching and exercise and just massaging my legs myself. But my entire left side is starting to completely, for lack of a better word, relax, so that when I'm doing yoga, it's matching what I could do on the left side now. I can do much easier. I'm more flexible on my left side. And I actually started running again within the past 4 weeks, and I know I have to start completely over, and I'm going really slow, but when I'm done running, I don't feel any pain while I'm running, and I don't feel any pain when I'm done. So that's a huge step.
Yeah, that's great. You know, the other thing we didn't mention is that you had digestive issues. And in Chinese medicine, when the stomach is not working well, oftentimes that will manifest in tongue issues. And so with the herbs that we put you on, you've also noticed that your digestion is quite a bit better, correct?
Yes, and you also had mentioned, we talked about nutrition. You asked me what my diet was, and even though I felt like I was eating really healthy food, we had talked about something that actually resonated, something I heard from my nurse practitioner. So I did make some minor changes just to start, in addition to the herbs, and within 48 hours, there's a huge improvement.
Yeah, noticeable.
Huge shift, yeah.
That's great. So I will be, for all of you, I will be putting pictures of her tongue up on Instagram because the changes are pretty remarkable. And although I'm happy with all of her changes, that her stiffness has gone down, that she can run without pain, her digestion's better, it all matters. But when I look at that tongue and see someone who probably can eat without discomfort and just go through the day without discomfort with that tongue, makes me so happy. And anyway, I'm just glad that you came to see me. I'm glad you're feeling better. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. I'm really happy with the process, and I would recommend you. I have already recommended you to a few people who knew my situation, and they know I'm running again, and they know how many different things I've tried. So
well, thanks for coming in. And for the rest of you, you certainly can come in and, we can help mitigate those side effects from chemotherapy and different surgeries related to cancer. But what a lot of people don't know is if you actually use it concurrently, a lot of times we can actually keep these issues from happening. And a lot of people don't think about that. So, if you or someone you know is going through any type of cancer treatment or having side effects, come on in, come to me, go to any acupuncturist, it doesn't matter, but it will help you either get through it with less side effects and hopefully stop those side effects from coming on after the treatment's done. Okay, everybody, thanks for tuning in and continue to stay safe.